I know that one of those candles isn't straight. I tried to fix it, I promise. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is McKenna. If you don't know me, I go by Kenna. I'm Mama Bean here on YouTube. I've got mommy content, cleaning videos, and informational videos, and just entertaining videos for you on my channel. So if you like what you see, or if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and let's get started with this weird facts about me video. So I got my water, and I did want to preface this video by saying that I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded in like a week or so. We were not only going through like our own little family issues, you know, hashtag mom life, but I did film a lot during this week, but none of the content I was proud of, and I don't want to put up videos just for the sake of putting up videos. I'm not really into YouTube to eventually get money from it. I do it because I enjoy it. I want to share my experiences and share my story. So if I have content I'm not proud of, I'm not putting it up. So there's that, but let's get started with the weird facts. My first weird fact is about food and drinks, but I cannot finish the last like this much of a drink, and I normally do not finish food to completion. I think it was one of my teachers in school told me that the last little bit of a drink is backwash, and I know that it's my backwash, but ever since she said that, it freaked me out so bad. And so I have never been able to finish the last little bit of any drink almost ever. And it drove my parents up a wall, and it irritates David too, because I waste like this much of every single drink that I drink. But it's who I am. I can't shake that feeling that it's yucky, you know? If I am eating something and then by the last bite I'm too full, I will not eat that last bite. And I know David is so competitive, and he's such like that type of person. So even if he's gonna puke of being so full, he will eat that very last bite. But if I'm too full, I won't take another bite. I have that much self-control that even if there's one bite left, I'm not gonna bite it. So it irritates people, but that's what I have David for. He finishes my drinks, he finishes my last bite, and it's fine. So get married to someone who completes you. I have a couple food related things because I'm very particular, and so it makes people think that I'm weird. I have a severe texture issue when it comes to food. There's a lot of things that I like the taste of and I wish that I could eat, but the texture, I'm just like, gives me the heebie-jeebies. I love mangoes, like the taste of mangoes, kiwis, pears, but their texture, I can't do it. So if there's pear juice or kiwi juice or a mango smoothie or mango ice cream, I can totally handle those, and I love the taste of them, but I cannot just eat them straight up, no. Or like applesauce, I really like the taste of because I love anything apple, but I hate the texture of applesauce. I've recently been able to eat yogurt, but for the longest time, the texture of yogurt was like too much for me. Eggs really freak me out, the texture of eggs, so they have to be scrambled or very overdone for me to enjoy them. Yeah, it's just weird. So most of the foods that I don't like, I only say that I don't like because of the texture. Really ties into my next one, which is number 3. But I tell people that I'm allergic to nuts when I am not allergic to nuts. And you're like, McKenna, why do you do that? Well, let me tell ya. Nuts. I don't like them, okay? I really, really don't like them, to the point where if I eat them, I will puke. And it's not necessarily a taste thing. Most nuts I don't like the taste of, but that's not really it. It's mostly a texture thing. The reason that I tell people that I'm allergic instead of that I don't like nuts is because they will not listen if you tell them that you just don't like it. You go to work and old lady Karen frickin' brings her famous fudge and it's got nuts all over it, and she's like, oh my gosh, do you want one? And you're like, oh no, sorry, I don't like nuts. Oh no, but you'll love this. I know you don't like nuts, but this is different. No, it's not different. I don't like nuts, okay? I don't care what it is, even if it came from the president himself. I don't eat nuts, I don't like them, I don't want them. But they don't believe that. It's like, that's not a good enough reason for people. So that's why I tell people I'm allergic to nuts, because when you tell them you're allergic, all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I'll get these away from you right away. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. If you don't like something, just tell people you're allergic to it. That's my advice. I don't care that I lie, the Lord will forgive me. So my next thing isn't really weird, because there's a lot of people who are like this, but it's just unassuming for me, and I get kind of a big reaction when I tell people, but I love spicy food. And I'm not talking just a little bit spice like those people who think that Panda Express orange chicken is spicy. No. I'm talking, I love spicy food. Like, the spicier the better. When I go to a restaurant and they're like, oh, how spicy? I'm like, as spicy as you could possibly make it. That's how spicy. And the reason that this is weird is because when I go to certain restaurants, mostly like Asian restaurants, they'll say how spicy, and I say as spicy as you can possibly get, and then they're like, are you sure? It's like, yes, I'm sure, but I wouldn't just say that if I wasn't sure. My mom was like that. All my siblings on my mom's side are like that. We just came out breathing fire. The spicier the better for me. So my next thing, which is my 5th thing, is that I cannot stand movies with a lot of drama or like tension or scary anything. I cannot stand them anymore. I have always kind of been like that, but especially after giving birth, I cannot do it. I've always been a very empathetic person, so when I watch a movie, I really feel like I can put myself in the character's shoes, and so if they're stressed out, if they're angry, if they're scared, then I feel those emotions as well. But I feel like it's gotten even worse since I gave birth to my son. So now it's just that, but times 10. And so I don't even like watching movies that will make me cry or make me sad, because I don't like to be scared for no reason. I don't like to be angry for no reason. Like, I'm a very positive person and I try and keep my life as drama-free as possible. So why would I want to watch other people's drama, you know? Stranger Things, don't like it. Won't watch it. I am afraid of small heights. And you're like, what? If I'm gonna fall and hurt myself, scared. If I'm gonna fall and die, I know where I'm going and I ain't worried about it. I've never heard of anyone that's like me in this sense, but standing on a stool, even the second story of the mall, anything that is like that, if I'm gonna fall and just hurt myself, then I'm scared. But going hiking, going zip lining, going on a plane, fine. So I have a high pain tolerance, but I don't like to test it. So yeah, afraid of small heights. Who knew? I'm kind of psychic. I'm kind of kidding, but kind of not. So what I'm talking about is I've been able to just know that my life was going to have a certain direction. And of course I know that because I, have my faith and I believe that God is taking me in a certain direction. But I just mean I've been able to pinpoint, boom, this thing is going to happen. So I've always said I'm going to be married young. I'm going to be pregnant by the time I'm 21. My first child's going to be a boy. And I have said these things, just ever since I was little. And they have all come true. And David is always like, well, why don't you say that we're going to win $1 million? And I'm like, because it doesn't work that way. There's certain things that I just know that I know that I know. And so I just proclaim them out loud and they have just happened. And I didn't do any of them on purpose. I wasn't like, okay, clock's ticking. I need to be pregnant right now because I'm almost 21. I actually got pregnant in April and my birthday was in May. I was pregnant when I was still 21. Okay, this one is really weird. Don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. But you know how a lot of people cover their feet at night because they're afraid that the boogeyman or a monster under their bed or a demon or something is going to grab their foot and pull them or whatever? Well, I don't have that fear because I overheat at night. I get so hot And so the demon can take me, okay? I would rather die than overheat at night. So if my feet are dangling out, don't care. But what I do care about is I have to have my butt covered at night with the covers. So my midsection like has to be covered if I'm sleeping. And David actually takes the covers before I get into bed because I go to bed later than him. And I will steal back just enough covers to cover my butt. Because I don't know why I feel like the boogeyman's going to get me if my butt is uncovered, but that's just how I feel. So this one necessarily isn't a weird thing about me, but it's a weird thing that happened to me. I went home for lunch when I worked at the bank, and I ate my lunch and everything was fine. And then I started driving back to my job, and as soon as I pulled out of my driveway, a cop started following me. And I was like freaking out. I was trying to go the speed limit. I was like, oh my gosh, why is this cop following me? It didn't matter where I turned or what I did. She just kept following me. And I'm like, why hasn't she pulled me over if she's gonna pull me over, you know? So I get like halfway to work, and she finally pulls me over. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, my seatbelt, am I speeding? Do I have a tail light out? What's happening here? And so she comes up to me and she's like, where are you going? And I was like, work, you know? I'm not really brave enough to be like, why'd you pull me over or something like that. So I was just like, work, you know? Where do you work? I work at the bank. And she's like, where are you coming from? And I said, my house. She's like, what's your address? And so I told her, and she's like, is that the greenhouse? I'm like, no, my house is white. And she's like, oh, okay, well, never mind then. Sorry I pulled you over. The house next door to yours is actually a meth lab, and I was just pulling you over to make sure that you weren't transporting drug dealers. Little old me, little old Kenna, who has a stuffed Chick-fil-A cow hanging from her rearview mirror, is like, no, I'm not transporting drug dealers. My bosses could not believe why I was late back from lunch. And they just thought it was absolutely hilarious because little old me is transporting drug dealers. So my very last weird fact about me, which you will not believe, but I'm going to tell you anyway, is that I am horrible at directions. And I know you're like, oh girl, me too. No, you don't understand. I am so bad at directions. I think it's like a short circuit in my brain or something. My mom was kind of the same way. But even in high school, I carried around my high school map that told you where the classes were and stuff until junior year of high school. And you would think, usually after the first like 2 weeks, everyone knows where their classes are, or they know, oh, well, this hallway is all the 100 classrooms and this hallway is all the 300 classrooms or whatever. No, not me. It's just my brain doesn't work that way. And if someone is blocking my path, so if there's construction, if, you know, there's some reason I can't go down that street or the hallway in the high school instance, then I don't know how to get where I'm going. If they block the path that I always take, don't know how to get there. It takes me probably 15 to 20 times going somewhere before I will slightly know where I'm going, and I may not need GPS. I don't know if it's because of my anxiety driving that causes it, but I have to GPS everywhere I'm going. Even if someone says, oh, it's by Taco Bell on 4th Plain or whatever. Even if I know where Taco Bell on 4th Plain is, I will still GPS how to get to wherever I'm trying to go because I don't trust myself. And one of the worst panic attacks I've had is when my phone was gonna die, I was running out of gas, and I didn't know where I was at, and so I was like lost, and I straight up had a panic attack, and then I had to go into a Taco Bell and call my dad and be like, I don't know where I am, I don't have gas, my phone's gonna die, and luckily he was able to come save me, but that's how bad it is. But that wraps up my 10 things that are weird about me. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I do have another one of these videos, but it was 23 weird facts about me. So if you like this video and you want to hear more, I will link that down below so you can watch that video. Subscribe if you liked what you saw, and I will see you in my next one.